All right, so now let's make this question cards look nice. So I'm gonna come first to this div like this, and I'm gonna give it a class of flex justify. Let's say justify between item to be center, some basic CSS, so that is right here. Perfect. And maybe what I'm gonna do, I will give this container a class of full for the small mobile, and on MD I want to make it width to be 2XL for now, let's say, and I want the MX to be auto. And again, this is just me going like very quickly. I'm not really trying to make it look nicer. So we are like this. If I shrink the page a little bit, so it's like this. So let's come here and give it some padding right and left of 4. Okay, so when we do that, we are good to go. All right. Okay, so then what we need to do, I'm gonna give this div here a margin bottom of 12 as well. So let's save it, and somehow like this is a bit too much. Let's make it to be 10. Yeah, so somehow it's okay. Okay, so let's come back to our questions here. So we have our question, we have our icon here, so we're good. And then let's work on this description here. So let's say class, so it's going to be full on small device, and when it's like MD, we want to make it to be very small, like we can also set it to be this 2XL, yes, on the larger screen, so that is like staying like between this container. And let's give it some I will add, okay, we have question, we have answer. So here, what I'm gonna do on the card div right here, I'm gonna make it flex colon, and justify center, item start here, perfect. But we need to have the, yeah, let's remove these items because we want the icon to be just right here. Okay, so I think we can start to work with these small settings without wasting much of time. Okay, so we have our question, we have our icon here. So let's make the icon to be cursor pointer. So class, let's set it to cursor pointer. Okay, so when we come, we have the icon right here, and then yeah, we can start to work on it like this. So if I come now and I reduce this question response card like this, and I go and I copy that and I go like to hard code it like we will do in a typical HTML CSS project, this is how it's going to be. Okay, so maybe the best before to proceed is to give the div that's got everything here. So let's say flex call, let's give it some gap of 4 like this, and let's save it. There you go. So we have some room, and then yeah, so we can start now to be playing with the displaying the design. Okay, so first thing first, what I'm gonna do, we don't want to have like plenty divs appearing here. It is very cumbersome. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start by using our liquid for loop to populate the code multiple times as we wish. So I'm gonna delete this other questions response card, so it looks just one like this, and I'm gonna add a for loop coming from a liquid, and we will loop using this method. So it's going to be parentheses. Okay, so I'm gonna add 1 ... and let's say I want to loop it 5 times, so I'm gonna add 5 here. So it's gonna start to loop from 1 and to 5, and let's cut this div here and add it inside of 4. And when I save it, and there you go, we're going to have it 5 times. Okay, so it is much easier to work with just one card, even though it is populated multiple times here. Okay, so now let's go and start to be adding some class that's gonna help us to be targeting our code here. Okay, so first of all, I want this div here that represents our answer. You know what, maybe I'm not gonna have a p tag, just directly a div. So let's change that. Let's cut this class here, let's remove this p tag, let's add the class on our div, and let's save it. So the div going to have the text directly. Okay, it's going to be the same look, not to worry. But I want on the default, when the page loads, I don't want the answer to be displayed, so I'm gonna give it a class of hidden, so it is hidden. Okay, so we're just gonna have the questions and the icons right here. So I think we're good. So what we can do now is to start to add a bit of JavaScript to add this functionality of toggling, displaying the answer, hiding the answer, and so forth.